Okay, so I hope this will help you. So let's start with the meaning of depreciation. First of all, we'll understand what exactly depreciation is. In simple language, I can say if we buy a new asset, for example, any asset, you can say it may be land, it may be building, it may be furniture, any tangible asset. So we have, like for example, we buy a new building for rupees 1 lakh rupees. So we have its expected useful life. What we say expected useful life. Any building, maybe we use it for next 10 years or maybe 12 years or 15 years. We cannot calculate the exact useful life, but yes, we can estimate it. For example, we estimate its expected useful life is 10 years. So the new building is costing us rupees 1 lakh and it will last for 10 years. So we can say every year its value going down by rupees 10,000. So this 10,000 we call it as a depreciation. Depreciation is charged due to various reasons, like due to efflux of time, like due to obsolescence, like due to accident. You study each and every factor of charging depreciation in detail. So in simple manner, I can say if you buy a new laptop for rupees 50,000 and its expected useful life is 5 years, then we can say every year its cost is going down by rupees 10,000. Okay, so this is we call depreciation. So now let's understand what I have written here. Depreciation means fall in the value of tangible fixed asset. Here we note that this depreciation is charged on tangible fixed assets. It is not charged on intangible fixed assets. On intangible fixed asset, we charge amortization. So there is a difference between depreciation and amortization. So this depreciation is charged due to various reasons. First reason is like usage. If you use any asset, then depreciation will be charged. Then second reason is efflux of time. It means if you are using any asset, every day its value is going down due to usage. Third is obsolescence. Obsolescence means like change in fashion. Change in fashion, or you can say change in technology. This is the reason of obsolescence. Okay. And then is accident. These are mainly 4 reasons of charging depreciation. Depreciation, we charge depreciation on all assets except land. Like we charge depreciation on land, building, furniture, machinery, on every tangible fixed asset. But we do not charge depreciation on land. Why we don't charge depreciation on land? Because it has infinite economic life. What do you mean by infinite economic life? It means land will last forever. Land, you understand land like vacant land. On that we like construct a building. So land has infinite life. That's why we don't charge depreciation on land. And depreciation is an expense which do not involve cash outflow. What does it mean? It means that like we charge depreciation, like we have expenses. There are 2 kind of expenses. One where cash outflow is involved and other where cash outflow is not involved. Let's understand where cash outflow is involved. First, like if we pay the salary, like we pay to someone who comes to us and we pay the amount of salary, there is cash outflow. And for example, we are paying the rent, then we are paying rent to the landlord, then there will be a cash outflow. Okay, but in case of depreciation, we do not pay any amount to any third person. He is not coming to our office and asking for the amount of depreciation. That's why we say like depreciation is expense which does not involve the cash outflow. I hope you got that. So now let's move to other slides. I hope you understood the meaning of depreciation. Next, Let me erase this. Okay. So now let's study these some important definition of depreciation, which you can see in your books as well. First definition is given, depreciation is a permanent and continuing diminution in the quality, quantity and value of asset. It means that depreciation is not temporary. It is not temporary. It is charged on permanent basis. Okay, so like it's not like that we are charging depreciation for some years, then we'll not charge depreciation for some other years. No, you have to charge depreciation every year, and it is a continuing process. Okay, so depreciation is a permanent and continuing diminution in quality, quantity, and value of asset. Depreciation will be defined as a measure of exhaustion of the effective life of asset of any cause during the given period. Like if we use any asset, then it will remain for some years. It gets exhausted after some years. It has some effective life. So for that effective life, we charge depreciation. This is the second definition. Third is depreciation is diminution in intrinsic value of asset due to use or lapse of time. For your exams, you just learn the meaning. Definition are not as much important. You just focus on the meaning, but what we studied in the last slides. Okay. So now let's move to next slide. Now let's understand the characteristics of depreciation. Like what are the features you can say in depreciation? First one is depreciation. It is a fall in the book value. What is book value? The value which we show in books of accounts. The value which we show in books of accounts is called as book value. Okay. It is a fall in the book value of tangible fixed asset. We have already studied what is tangible fixed asset. It is a permanent, gradual and continuing nature. It is a process of allocation of cost. What do you mean by allocation of cost? Here allocation of cost means if you buy a new machinery for rupees 1 lakh, then we allocate its cost to number of years. For example, its useful life is 5 years. Then per year depreciation would be 20,000 rupees, and we allocate this amount. What we do? We allocate this amount over the expected useful life of the asset. Expected useful life is here is 5 years. So we charge depreciation 20,000 and we debit in P&L account every year. Okay. Depreciation is indirect expense. We know in accountancy we have two types of expenses. First is direct expenses and second one is indirect expenses. Direct expenses which are directly related to manufacture, which we show in trading account. And indirect expenses are all those expenses which are not directly related to manufacture, which we show in profit and loss account. So here depreciation is indirect expense which is debited to P&L account. This will help you in your final account chapter as well. In final account we show the depreciation and we also do some adjustments related to depreciation. Okay. Now next point is it is charged on all tangible fixed assets such as building, furniture and machinery except land. We have already studied that, like depreciation is charged on all fixed assets except land. Okay. So now let's move to other slide. Let's understand the meaning of depreciation, amortization and depletion. Most of the time we get confused, like we think like depreciation, amortization and depletion is the same thing, but it's not like that. There is a difference between depreciation, amortization and depletion. We have already studied what exactly depreciation is. So now let's study what is amortization. Amortization is charged on intangible assets. On intangible asset. You know what are intangible assets? Intangible asset, for example, goodwill, patent, trademark, copyright. All these assets are called as intangible assets. So, on intangible asset, the value which goes down every year, because we cannot say intangible asset will be exist for infinite period. It's not like that. Even intangible asset have some definite or finite life. So that is why we charge amortization. Amortization is a gradual or systematically written off intangible asset over its estimated useful life. Okay. Now let's understand what's the meaning of depletion. Depletion means depletion we charge on something like mines or the material we extract from mines. For example, from mines we extract coal, or from mines we extract something like other minerals. So, some companies are involved. Some companies, have you heard the name of Jindal Power, Jindal Steel or Jindal Power? They are involved in extracting minerals from the mines. So even they have also some limited life of minerals in mines. So for that we also charge depletion. Depletion is charged as a measure of exhaustion of wasting assets such as extraction of material from mines, etc. Okay, so I hope you understood the meaning of first is depreciation, second one is amortization, and third one is depletion. So now let's move to further. Now let's understand why we charge depreciation. Okay, what is the objective of providing depreciation? Mainly there are four objectives of charging depreciation. Let's understand. First one is to calculate correct profit or loss. Like if we do not charge depreciation, then we are not able to calculate correct profit or loss, because we debit the depreciation amount in profit and loss account. We have P&L account from where we get the net profit or net loss. So if we do not charge depreciation, then we will not be able to calculate the correct profit or correct loss. Okay, so for that we charge depreciation, otherwise our profit will not be correct. Second reason is to show the true and fair view of financial position. You know that we charge depreciation in balance sheet as well. In balance sheet, we deduct the amount of depreciation from asset. Like we prepare the balance sheet, and asset side we have, for example, building. From building, we deduct the amount of depreciation. Let's say if we don't do that, if we don't deduct the amount of depreciation, then our financial position will not be correct. Because we are not deducting the amount of depreciation, then amount of building will remain every year same, which is not correct. So to show the true and fair view of financial position, here financial position means balance sheet, we charge depreciation. Third reason is to show the asset at its proper value. If we don't charge the depreciation, then asset will be overvalued. Assets will be overvalued, which is also not correct. Fourth, to retain out of profit funds for replacement. What do you mean by replacement? For example, if you buy a new laptop for rupees 50,000 and it will last for 5 years, then after 5 years, what will happen? You again have to buy a new laptop. For that, you require the funds. So, what you should plan? You should charge 10,000 rupees every year from your profit, so that after 5 years, you have the money for replacement of the assets. Okay, so this is the reason we charge depreciation. Depreciation is charged for replacement of asset as well. I hope all four objectives are clear to you.